welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Chi. Have you ever wondered how you can pay less tax and make your money work harder for you? Well, if that's you, then stay tuned, because in this video I'm going to talk about how an ISA can help you achieve those goals. But before I get into it, do hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you can get such videos each time I upload one. So let's get into it. The first point to cover off is, what is an ISA? An ISA is an individual savings account. So that means people like you and I can put money into those accounts. Now there are 4 types of ISAs. That's a cash ISA, a stock ISA, an innovative finance ISA, and a lifetime ISA. In this video, I'm going to primarily focus on a cash ISA and a stock and shares ISA, but I'm going to put a link in the description below so that you can get a bit more information on the other 2 if that piques your interest. The single most important benefit of an ISA are the tax benefits that you can receive from investing in one. So an ISA, if you want to think about it in a very simple way, is a wrapper. It wraps your money, your investments, in a way that shields your income or any interest earned from the tax man. There are 4 types of taxes that all investors need to be aware of. That's income tax, capital gains tax, inheritance tax, and stamp duty. In terms of an ISA, the 2 taxes that it shields you from are income tax and capital gains tax. ISAs are fantastic in terms of allowing you to take advantage of some of the tax breaks. I think that they are a great vehicle to be able to make your money work harder for you. If this is something that you're interested in, I would advise you to go to your particular bank or building society or whatever financial institution you actually currently deposit your funds with and have a conversation about, for example, maybe just start with a cash ISA. If you're a bit more confident or a bit more aware of what's going on in the stock market, look at a stocks and shares ISA. For this particular tax year, so that's April 2020 to April 2021, the allowance for an ISA is 20,000. You can't carry that allowance over, and the tax year runs from the 6th of April to the 5th of April in the following year. So we have just started the tax year for 2020 to 2021. So it may be a good time for you to start to think about how you're going to utilize your ISA allowances per individual. So a couple gets to, for example, in a cash ISA, you earn interest on your income. It works pretty much in the same way as a savings account in that you earn interest. Unfortunately, due to the emergency rate cuts by the Bank of England recently, and if you want to know more about that, I'll put a link up above so that you can go and watch a video I made on that. The interest rates earned on savings accounts are very low at the moment. The top rate for a cash ISA, if you want easy access to your money, so if you want to be able to access your money immediately, is 1.19%. And then if you're able to allow your money to sit there for 12 months without being accessed, then the interest rate at the moment is 1.5%. So a cash ISA is a good idea if you've got short to medium term goals. 2 things to be careful of in terms of a cash ISA: inflation. I've made a video on that as well, in terms of you just need to make sure that the money that you've got in a cash ISA, that the spending power of that money is not being eroded by inflation. So just keep an eye on the interest rate that you're earning as well as what the inflation rate is at the moment. And then the other thing to just watch out for is withdrawals. So at the moment, most cash ISAs allow you to be able to withdraw money and then not lose out on the tax benefit, but you need to make sure that your cash ISA is a flexible one. A stocks and shares ISA is one to pay a bit more attention to, just in the sense that before you go into that, you need to make sure that you're comfortable with stocks and shares. My previous video looked at investing and what a stock market is and what a stock is. So if you want to take a look at that, then do go ahead and do that. Key point to make here is that with a stocks and shares ISA, the value of those stocks and shares can go up as well as down. So you need to be very careful. If you're a seasoned investor or you know a little bit more about stocks and the stock market, then you can pick your own stocks to put in the ISA. But if you're not, then you can obviously delegate that responsibility to a fund manager or portfolio manager, for example, but you still need to be comfortable with where your money is being put to work. So a stocks and shares ISA, you get benefits from that because you don't pay any tax on capital gains. So that's if your stocks and shares go up in value, and you also don't pay any tax on dividends, and that's very important. So these 2 benefits can be quite significant depending on how your portfolio is doing. In a cash ISA, you don't pay any tax on the interest that you earn. I'm just going to talk about some of the practical points about ISAs. So the key point here is that you get 20,000 allowance in a year. You can withdraw your money and put it back as long as you do it within that particular financial year. You can also transfer your ISAs between different types of ISAs, but you can only at any point in time have one cash ISA, one stocks and shares ISA, and then one of the other two ISAs as well, so that if you leave the country, then you don't lose your tax-free benefits, but that only remains for that particular year. The moment you live abroad, then you're no longer entitled to tax-free allowances for the following years. There's a wide range of investments that you can include in a stocks and shares ISA, but you want to make sure that the stocks and shares you're including are eligible for an ISA. So always make sure that you read the small print. If you're wondering how do you go about opening an ISA, well, most building societies, banks, most financial institutions will be able to help you with that. If you're transferring your ISA within a particular financial year, they have to transfer the entire balance. But that's not the case for monies that you've invested in previous years. You can decide to transfer all of those, or you can transfer part of it. These are some of the rules surrounding ISAs, but whatever the case may be, if you do decide to invest in an ISA, I would strongly encourage you to make sure that you read all the rules in the paperwork that you get for that particular product. If you open an ISA and then you move abroad, you can't put money in after that particular financial year, and you need to inform the relevant parties that you have actually moved abroad. This is a very important point to make note of if you have any travel plans to move abroad. You don't lose out on the ISA that you've already opened. It just means that for the following year you don't get any tax break. Some of the key points about an ISA to take note of: you get a £20,000 allowance for that particular year. So this is a product specific to the UK. You've got to be 16 or over to be able to open a cash ISA, 18 or over to be able to open a stocks and shares ISA. You can open a junior ISA for a young person. You can't open an ISA on behalf of someone else, and you need to be a UK resident. Thank you very much for watching my video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Do leave a comment for me below, because this helps grow my channel and it helps me beat the YouTube algorithm, which I'm absolutely determined to do. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so, and I hope to see you in the next video. Take care and goodbye.